Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and this is my July reading wrap-up where I discuss the last 5 books that I read in the month of July for the reading rush, as well as my July reading stats. Okay, so as always, we'll start out with the reading stats. I've got them here on my tablet in front of me. So I read a total of 8 books in the month of July. Pages read 1,684. Hours listened 10 hours and 10.3 hours. Excuse me. My average rating was 4. Interesting. And I didn't acquire any books, which is no surprise. I did, however, check out a total of 11 library books during this month. 3 of the books I read were owned voices. The genres I read, 1 classic, 1 contemporary, 2 fantasy, 1 nonfiction, and 1 paranormal. Oh, and 1 sci-fi. I almost forgot that one. The formats, I read 0 audiobooks, 7 ebooks, and 1 physical book. So there's some overlap between the audio and the physical. The audio and the ebooks. Sorry, it's hot, it's summer. I've got the fan on and the window open, so there will be some background noise. But there's overlap for 2 books where I listened to it partially and I read the ebooks partially. So technically I listened to 2 audiobooks, but that explains how I have 10.3 hours listened, but don't have any audiobooks here. The majority I read. Let's just go with that. The audience for the books I read, 7 adult books. The other book, the nonfiction one, I'm not sure age audience matters. I guess at a push it would be adult, but it could be, as long as you can understand what's being talked about, then it doesn't matter. I'd say, with the exception of maybe middle grade, no, I'm sorry, maybe children, any of the other audience age groups could read this. Okay, gender identity. I had 3 books that had characters which were gender fluid. Race, 2 books with African main characters, 2 books with Asian main characters, 1 book with a black main character, and 1 book with a white main character. Sexuality, I only had 1 book with a queer character. There's new to me, 2 new to me authors, and 6 authors that are not new to me. The types, I had 3 standalone novels and 5 series and no rereads. Last but not least, my ratings. I had 1 5-star book. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right month. Yes, I did. I had 1 5-star book, 1 4.5-star book, 4 4-star books, and 2 3.5-star books. So it was a good month of reading for me. So let's talk about the books that I read in the month of July. The reading rush I participated in, and enjoyed myself for the most part, and then stressed myself out towards the end, and then with all of the mistakes that the hosts were making along the way. I didn't push to really finish at the end. I mean, I finished. I There were 7 reading prompts. I believe there were 7 reading prompts. But yeah, there were 7 reading prompts. Wait, I just paused it. Yeah, 7 reading prompts. I hit 6 of them. Even if the problems didn't occur, I probably only would have read, hit 6 of those prompts. So as I go through, I will tell you in the order that I finished the books and what prompts they wound up fitting. But I have a whole Reading Rush vlog that you can check out on my channel, so please do, because I put work into it. I did the video challenges, and the race to read book tag in there as well. So do go and enjoy it. The first book, or actually the first 2 books I read, were both from the same series, Attack on Titan, by excuse me, Hajime Isayama, and I read volume 26 as an ebook because I got 27 out from the library thinking that this was one that I was up to, and I started reading and was like, no, this is not the one you're up to. So I went and found a website really quick because it was the first day of the reading rush and read volume 26 entirely outdoors in the park. That was the first prompt that I hit for the reading rush. I gave this volume 26 5 stars. It was an emotional roller coaster. So much was happening. It was the second half of the battle that I left off with in volume 25 earlier this year or late last year, and because I was trying to be good and not find e-versions online that are not legal, I was waiting for the library to open back up to get physical copies. And finally, I read this. So much happened. People died. Obviously, it was a battle, but like a big character that we've been following from the beginning. And then, like, people were betrayed. People switched sides. Wow. People you thought were winning wound up losing. Like, there was a bunch of twists in that one volume. So 5 stars. That is an adult manga from Japan. Attack on Titan is about these people in paradise, but they are stuck behind these 3 large walls that protect them from the Titans, which are these giant beings that eat humans outside of those walls. And one day, the Colossal Titan, which is the first Titan they've ever seen that is taller than their walls, comes and kicks a hole in the wall and changes the lives of everyone living inside of paradise. So we're getting towards the end of this series, and oh my god, it was amazing. So the second volume I read was, in the second book in this reading rush, was Attack on Titan volume 27. So this is after the battle, and we also see flashbacks to what happened over the past 2 or 3 years, and that was interesting. Things were hinted at in volume 26 we're starting to see more of here in volume 27, and wow, well, maybe not wow, but a little bit disappointing. But I also feel like it's understandable to an extent. So yeah, obviously I got this physically from the library, an adult manga. This volume I decided to put as a book set on a continent different from my own. Um, so another book can also fit this prompt, but I just wanted to put this one in there. Uh, this is a fictional world, but it is becoming clear that it's not completely fictional, but it's definitely not set in North America, so there's that. The next book I finished is Crystals for Emotional Healing by Stacey Harrow. This is the nonfiction book I was talking about. It's really not a complex read. Um, this is actually a book that I got earlier this year. Stacey Harrow is a longtime friend of mine, a witchy friend, and she wrote her first book, and her and the publisher sent me an e-version, and I liked that, and then lo and behold I got a physical copy, which I hadn't gotten to read. Now this is more of a reference book, so it's not meant to be read from cover to cover, but that's what I did during the reading rush. There are 3 chapters in here. The first chapter is basically goes over your emotions. It's understanding your emotions. It gives a basic overview of emotional healing, a basic overview of how you can like figure out what you're feeling, because you can't use the crystals to help you emotionally heal unless you are clear about what emotions you are feeling, and that's difficult. So to give some information about that, and uh, some basics on how crystals can help. You can use them with your chakras, or make crystal grids, or in pouches and meditation, just for some examples. And then chapter 2 is the crystal guide, which is the majority of the book. You get a page, sometimes 2 for each crystal, and it gives you very basic information, what chakras it corresponds to, the crystal origin, what it looks like. There's also these gorgeous pictures, how to use it for emotional healing, and how to care for the crystals. And it's in alphabetical order, so there's 100 crystals in here. And chapter 3 is about the emotions specifically, and corresponding crystals, a healing ritual, meditation, mantra, and then keeping your crystals close. There is reference and resources in the back, which I appreciate. So I like this book a lot. I wound up giving this 4 stars. I think the only thing to take that I felt like could have been improved in here, for the emotion section, chapter 3, the healing rituals, maybe I'm confused or I misunderstood what was supposed to be here, but a lot of what's under the healing ritual section for each crystal is kind of like an explanation of the emotion, and then under the meditation and mantra section is something you can say to help you use that crystal with emotionally heal from that emotion. And it would have been nice to get more healing rituals, I guess. Some do have them, but a lot of them don't, so I wasn't completely happy with that. Otherwise, I felt like it was pretty good. Um, I particularly enjoyed the cleansing your crystals section for each crystal because it's not something I'm always aware of. I'm not a big crystal user, so yeah, I'm not a big crystal user. Not as into it as Stacy is. So keeping all of the correspondences and how to care for the crystals is difficult. I like that there are like extra pages in the back, so I wrote some notes, crystals I want to try that I don't own, so crystals I want to buy, and crystals that I do own that I should use more, particularly for emotional healing. Um, this is a really good book, and I recommend it to those who are interested in crystals and maybe haven't tried them for emotional healing or looking for that focused information on that. So, the next book I finished. Wait, before I move on, this fit for 2 prompts. I picked this kind of meta to fit the prompt to read a book with the color of your birthstone on the cover. Now, my birthstone is literally a photo of it is on the cover, and so the color of my birthstone is on the cover. Um, and I also did a book cover outfit photo, which you can see in my vlog. Go check that out. And the second prompt this fit would be the first book I touched. This is the only book that I own. And so I touched this first before I even got the volume 27 of Attack on Titan. So it fit those 2 prompts for the reading brush. The next book I finished was Binti Home. That is book 2 of the trilogy. Binti, this is a sci-fi, I think it might be YA, but I'm going to say adult for the violence and gore, particularly in the first book. I read the first book earlier this year, and I do want to continue because I enjoyed it. This took a slightly less sci-fi turn, just a tinge. It's less focused on aliens and technology than the previous book. So this series we're following Binti, who is a member of her home tribe. She has been accepted to this interstellar university, and no one from her ethnic group has ever left the planet or gone to this university. But Binti is very interested, so she sneaks out and goes, and her whole life has changed now. Her race of people are seen as, even by those on their planet, are seen as less than. They put clay on their bodies and in their hair, or at least the women do, and they don't leave without having that on them, so you can't see their skin clearly. They're just seen as kind of barbaric in a sense. And so going to an interstellar university on another planet, people have never seen her type before. Even the other races on her planet, they've seen her, but it's really odd to them that she's off planet. So there's a lot of issues. There's issues with other alien races. In this particular section, Home, Binti comes back to her planet and sees her family for the first time again. And things pop off from there. It was really interesting. I can't wait to read part 3, the conclusion of this Binti trilogy, and I definitely want to read more of Nnedi Okorafor, the author. I got the ebook out from the library, and I wound up giving this 4 stars. Like I said, it's a sci-fi novella. And for the reading rush, I read this for the prompt, a genre I would like to read more of, and that is sci-fi. The last book I finished for the reading rush is Emma by Jane Austen. Now, this also fits for Jane Austen July. I do want to read more classics, and Jane Austen July is helpful with that because I do want to read more Jane Austen. I'm a big fan of Pride and Prejudice, and I've never read any other Jane Austen book. I read Pride and Prejudice in school, and I've loved it ever since. I've read it several times since, and I have watched like every movie adaptation. So this seemed like a good opportunity to read another classic, read some more Jane Austen, and see what I feel. Emma is about Emma Woodhouse. Woodhouse? I think it's Woodhouse. God, please let it be Woodhouse. If not, I'll put her proper last name on the screen here. But yeah, for Emma, who is younger, I think she's 20 in whatever century England this is written. I'm not good at that. But Emma is young. She's living with her hypochondriac father. Her older sister has moved out, gotten married and moved out, and moved to another part of the country with her husband and now 2 children. I believe it's 2 children. And Emma has been living in basically as the woman of the house for many years. Even when her older sister was around, it seemed like Emma's forceful personality just is what it is, even though she's young. So Emma makes a friend who's of a lesser, or not lesser, a lower, she's on a lower rung of society than Emma, and she wants to fix this girl up and get her married up in society. That's Harriet. And then there's this other woman, Jane, who moves into town, who Emma sees as prettier and more refined than she is, and everyone talks up Jane. And Jane seems like a nice person, but Emma is immediately jealous and ignores Jane a lot. There's also the guy that Emma tries to. There's a lot. But the other reason I picked Emma, other than Jane Austen July, is because of one of the reading rush prompts, which was to read a book you've already seen the movie of. Now, I keep forgetting this, but Clueless. The movie Clueless is based on Emma. And now that I've read Emma, I totally see it. But I saw Clueless years ago when it came out, and I've seen it several times. It's a movie that I quite love, and if you've seen Clueless, Emma is almost exactly the same thing. So do check it out if you like Clueless. Read Emma. It's good stuff. I will say the setting made me like Emma less than Clueless, and the length. Clueless, rewatching it, is only an hour and a half, which is really short. There's some stuff taken out, and a lot of things are modernized for modern audiences, so I like Clueless more. I thought about it, I don't understand why I like Clueless more, but I do. I wound up giving Emma 3 stars. Emma and Binti are the 2 books that I half read, half listened to, or in Emma's case, honestly, Um, no, actually, it turned out to be roughly half and half. Now I'm thinking about it, half listened to, half read, and I'm glad because I probably would not have gotten through Emma completely if I didn't listen to the audio because there's some parts where I'm just like, I don't care. I really don't care. I did enjoy the romance between Emma and Mr. Knightley. Um, Obviously saw that coming. I liked it just as much as I enjoyed the romance in Clueless. So A plus there. And I see the similarities in the two love interest main characters with Pride and Prejudice. So this does make me want to read more Jane Austen in the future. It's just the setting, the level of detail for every conversation is tedious at times. I thought I wasn't going to get through it in the beginning because I was zoning out for the first couple of chapters where we were introduced to everyone. But once I watched Clueless, and then I was like, oh yeah, because it's been like 10 years since the last time I watched Clueless. So I think I said, but I gave this a 3 stars, 3.5 stars. I don't remember. But not bad. I'm not loving it as much as Pride and Prejudice or Clueless, but not bad. So those were the books that I've read for the Reading Rush and Jane Austen July. The prompt that I missed for the Reading Rush was read a book that starts with the word the, and we'll talk about that in my mid-August wrap up. But I got 10 badges. The 2020 Reading Rush badge, the Read a Book Outside badge, the First Book You Touch badge, the 5-star read badge that volume 26 of Attack on Titan got 5 stars, the Read a Book Outside of the Continent You're On badge, the Read a Book with the read a book that's cover is the same color as your birthstone badge, the Read a genre you want to read more of, read a book that you've already seen the movie of, and read over 1,000 pages, which I think I got 1,181 pages read with everything all together, and to make a YouTube video, which was my reading vlog for the Reading Rush. So that is my July reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you read any of these books? How was your reading rush? I'm not going into all of the problems because I talked about that in my reading vlog. No need to belabor the point. At this point, I am waiting to see what the Holes plan to do to avoid a lot of these issues in the future. I personally am not canceling them, and as far as never participating in the reading rush, we shall see. This is only my second time, so we'll see. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. That would help me very much. Share with your friends and family if you think they would be interested. Do subscribe if you want to see more reading content. This week is going to be reading content heavy. I've got at least 2 other videos coming, my mid-year reading stats and the Black Booktuber tag video. So do subscribe so you can hit that notification bell and be notified when those videos are coming. I do at least 2 reading videos a month, so you will always be fed. And Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.